And welcome back. Picking where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires as Rome. So we try to finish up Carthage. And we're negotiate their surrender and give us a bunch of territory. See which of those options they go with over the next couple turns. Part of the siege and a Federate Barbarians. Okay. Well, I don't necessarily got any places for that Art of the Siege to be played. Okay. Not the end of the world if we do a bunch of fortifications for Carthaginians, I think. Okay, you can make it down there. That's good to see. Okay, so I think that's all the troop orders given, at least for the North African Theater. If everything goes well, that will leave us with 2 places to take on the next turn. Well, yeah, two places, and we'll be sieging this fort down here with Carthage. Go ahead and put one of the Navy units in active screening of the area. Then we have this guy up here. Building on the regional roads. Can you get all the way over there? Yes. That's where we go next. Now we're on to provincial management, I believe. New building here. Could do the glassworks, and this would actually get us like 12 more money, 20 more culture, or you do the tribune. Thinking the glassworks here. So the culture and the money. The other one would probably be a little bit better from a CGR standpoint, culture to decadence ratio standpoint, but okay, we need like 1 more brought over from food. That should do it. Yeah, so that'll finish the glassworks and then be back on food unless we get another pop growth in the region. Nothing in Rome. And I'm thinking the 3K that we're making with the stockpiled gold is perfectly fine. Run down the gold stockpile a little bit if we need to. A little overkill. We only need that much, I think. Yeah. Still keep the growth pretty high. 1 free building slot. Copperworks. Do we already have copper in the area? for the bank. But the bank got a bonus off of copper? No, we don't have copper in the area, so we'd get a benefit from some other buildings with the copper import. It does make sense to do the copper works for the copper import then. On the other hand, it would be, this is a really good tavern. This gives access to tier 3 culture buildings in the area, which we definitely do want as well. That requires almost no infrastructure, so we can actually take people off our infrastructure and get them on the food. It's not going to make a big difference because we're already making so much food. Yeah, we literally don't need anyone making infrastructure. We want, like, neutral infrastructure here for the moment. We'd rather have the food. Four building slots. Barracks or tools. Or that actually is a pretty good warehouse as well. Where are we infrastructure-wise in the place? 3, 6, 7. Okay. So if I wanted that for upgrading potentially into large warehouse or just an infrastructure bonus, that would be way to go. We're not that desperate for it. In the long run, if we're going to actually train troops here, we want the barracks because of the XP bonus, but probably make do without. Whereas we are looking for more commerce, we're looking for more culture. We'll go commerce. And obviously we don't need this many guys on producing food. Okay. Yelps, as you might imagine, are not super great for food production, but swap those guys over to food. It's also not good because the glacier there for production, so. We can do like 100 less. That should be enough. In fact, we can probably take one more off. No. Not 8. We could do like 7 or less. Lots of open slots here, so we can get a lot of building underway. Let's grab that clear water. The caravanserai was also tempting. We'll take the 0-slot training ground, improve the military expertise ratio of the country. We're going to do the tavern here and get access to tier 3 culture. The theater to get access to tier 3 culture. And theater is the only one we need more construction for, really. I think we'll do it over 2 turns instead of 1 turn, because the rest, otherwise we're going to be pushing a lot of infrastructure into things we don't need it in. 2, a 1, and a 1. New barracks. We'll do walls. And the bridge will get better as we build more commerce, so let's do the bridge. And we have enough infrastructure to get all that done. I'm not going to fiddle too much with the infrastructure here. Thinking I should be trying to track how long this part's going. 1 moment. Here we go. Not stopwatch. I don't short sell you the short part or give you a long part. Do the right size part. We'll give that'll give us access to the tier 3 culture. Expansion is always expense offered. We've got a lot of building slots here, so we're going to take the health building. Okay, and we need to bring people over to do industry, so we can get the buildings done a lot faster. Okay, that's probably good enough. On to the next province. Tribune and 2 building slots here. That's a pretty nice noble garden. Basically a 10-to-1 culture to decans ratio, so that's good. Could get that massive walls to get the place more dug in. Yeah, I think we're going to do the massive walls to get the place more dug in. 4 and a 1. Oh, that reminds me. Let's create a province in there. Don't think we need the arsenal for the weapons. Preserved food. 10 health, 20 money. We'll probably pass on that. This is a reroll here. Land expansion. Which won't finish this turn, but get most of the way done. 2, 1, and a 6. Yeah, those regions got lots of stuff to build. Street parlor. We'll get the papyrus in there at some point, so I'm not worried that we don't have the bonus from it right now. And a courthouse is always nice. Next region, 4. Grab the loyalty bonus from there. We can move you. Doesn't make much of a difference, but we can move you to production. We're going to want the conversion because we've got lots of sort of grumpy citizens here of their own culture. Three end of 1. No, 3, just a 3. Let me see if I can. What I saw. Brickworks. Well, 3 and a couple other buildings being built. Okay. Can't really take anything off of food to accelerate construction, but we definitely don't need that money in commerce or money in culture. You're building everything. One open slot here, so we do actually have stuff we can build over here. Build you up. You're not that expensive. 1 more than that. There we go. I'll get the training ground done. Let's give another slot, so we'll have to build something else as well, but that's fine. Monument. And we can get that monument done 1 turn. Nothing build there. A couple slots. Probably overkill on the infrastructure to build stuff, to be fair. Money for culture. We're pretty far away from frankincense. I'm not going to assume we can export it out to here. We can get the purple to make the dye here, so we could go with the dyeing mill. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's... we had this guy going to here. We're going to go have him go to here instead, because we can get that a paved road. And can build a major harbor. Actually implies we probably need more production. Get that built. Yep, there's enough. We just need one more guy in production. One open slot. We are able to import frankincense here. We will pay a little bit to take it in from either Cyprus or Dumay. But for 30 culture, that's probably worth it. Which we're short. 7. We're short 7. There we go. Silica done. Commercial port range bonus for Macedonia. That's always good. Ceramics works. Can already be imported by the from the neighboring province, though it isn't currently being imported. So it would be providing a bonus to one of the neighboring places. And this is a decent commerce culture building either way. So I think we'll build it anyway. Three open slots. So lots of stuff to build there. Now, whether we pull something worth building is a different problem. The Wheelmaker is fine. We definitely don't need that much infrastructure for the Wheelmaker. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, next is going to be all the loose ones. There's a loose one. Ooh, that's a demonstration of a good coin maker. So we got gold, silver, and copper, all bonus supplied to the coin maker. So yeah, build that coin maker. What's in the courthouse here? Oh, this is another province we can make. Obviously, I think the coastal one is probably where we want the province capital. Oh, some of the nearby structures will make more income from salt, so we'll build a salt there then. Okay, and that's all the idle ones. Troops are signed. Idols are signed. And we'll see our troops march out to all the positions except for these two here. Oh no, these three here. But we'll be able to quickly overrun, I think, all of them shortly in next turn. Well, the next movement after this movement, we'll probably get there. Or Carthage will accept my demands. I guess we just completed enough that Carthage was willing to back down. It was a 6% chance, but there was a delayed turn for it to be passed back, and then they would make the decision. And apparently we made 6% a reasonable percentile by that point. Okay. We didn't hand back any of our objectives, so no real hards done. Should double check what my objectives are. At least I don't think I had any objectives back. Signed a peace treaty. We got them to 40, so now we should be able to ask for them to become our client state. They're not willing to do that for nothing, which is fair. But we're also rich, so we can very much do a not nothing. There we go. Give them a little of everything and make them client state. The peace treaty between us and Macedonia has ended, so it's now time to go line up the Macedonian border. Introduced by 1/3 or former state and government. Yeah, we'll do reform citizen rights. Okay, so where are our objectives currently? Our ally, or our client state, well, the client state, the person we're trying to make a client state. These are possibility they'll accept Macedonia, Byzantium. I think Byzantium, well, Byzantium I think was, maybe isn't anymore, but was the client state of Macedonia. Okay, so we're definitely going to war with Macedonia and Byzantium. So it's those two, and then we got a couple of fragments around here that we want to overrun. Otherwise, we're just trying to deal with the Macedonians. Gonna prospect for resources and build a harbor. Okay, build harbor makes sense to do over here. Port connection. Bolster colony. We've got a couple different places we can do it. Plop it there. Any barbarians you can federate? District guys to the north, I suppose. Prospect resources. We'll do a quick check over on our new stuff to make sure there's nothing we need to prospect away. Okay, that one's not removable for us. There's other people that can remove it, but we can't. Oh, and that one's actually just a bad one. Straight up bad one. Because it's not in a province. Okay, well, we want to start moving you this direction. Full experiment camp as you leave. I'll start moving you that direction as well. We've basically got 4 targets that we can be immediately adjacent to. And the rest will have to be naval targets, where the troops land by Navy. So we'll move you there. Full experiment camps before you leave. Run that far. You can run a little bit farther. You can get a little bit Carthage. That's nice. That's the elephant stack. We'll go bed the elephant stack in one of the garrison locations over here. Looks like for the longest distance, you're going to be going by boat. Yeah. Okay, so you're going out to Carthage. We can then tell you to go over there. And then from you can say go there. So that's actually providing us with, I think, enough troops. We can probably actually leave some guys just behind. Leave the third guy behind just to garrison the region in case we need to respond to an up-and-coming Carthage again. Oh, I didn't actually check every place today. Did you... So you're new, you're new. Stream Weather is clothing manufacturer, so we can get rid of that, but that's not going to be soon. Okay, no. So we can use the prospecting. Attempting to find copper or silver in them the hills. Okay, and we want to get this guy into a port where he can get some recovery. So he'll get resupplied, and we basically want him to port hop for the moment. These guys look like they've been reasonably happy, so they can just sit outside a port. But extra friendly territory. Because we're going to project naval power out into this area over here for naval travels out into Macedonian colonies, because the Macedonians have basically been pushed out into their colonies at this point. And those are some pretty big colonies, to be fair. Some of them are even big enough they're getting legacy points. Build lines and move. And then you are paved road, then move. Okay, at that point I think it's time to go around doing... checking the construction queues, make sure they are being productively used. Oh, it needs a little bit more than that, 56 more. So let's put those guys. Umbria here is much better at infrastructure than it is at food. So if we're moving guys to food, it's the one we want to move them off of, or move them last. Right, because 14 infrastructure worth of workers is 4 food. Just a little bit better at infrastructure than it is at food. Ooh, lots of open building slots in this area. Amphitheater is not a bad choice. We'll take the tool manufacturer because that'll leave the slot open. We could potentially fish for something like a scriptorium for next. And the monument will leave the slot open as well. Okay, how much construction do you want to bed to make this faster? Probably doesn't make sense to drag it down to a 2-turner. Maybe it doesn't make sense to go past that. And that's because right now our construction in the area is getting divided 3-way. I don't want to invest so much that we're like super overkilling the other two. There we go. So it's a 2-turn in the amphitheater. The other 2 will finish in 1 turn. We'll be making those choices next turn. 1 and a 2. The 2 probably wants to get pretty good investment into it. Ooh, a hologram. Horolingum? Not sure how you pronounce that. So this is a 0 slot, and it has strange devices. Small, albeit important extension to the Academy, which will make great use of tin, glass, and copper, of which we have none of them in the province at the moment. Or in that region for the moment. For various devices. There, the more scientific philosophers will design solar quadrants, astronomical mobiles, and even analog computers. So this is a rare building. Doesn't take up a slot. Right now it's pretty bad, except for it's got that strange devices. Not sure what strange devices gives us. I know this is a rare building. I know that gives us stuff. Right, so it's not a... It's better than it looks. Not exactly how sure how much better than it looks, just that it is better than it looks. Looks like the watchtower here for the defense. How much more do I want to invest in trying to get that done quickly? Another 120 wouldn't be bad. Get it down to a 2-turn. Yeah. I don't want to overinvest in the watchtower again. Though apparently the watchtower is in a place that did take some damage from being raided, so building up would not be a bad idea. Decent temple. No, that's not a very good tannery. We don't need the Greek fire tower here. Yeah, we don't need the Greek fire tower here. 15 food for an agricultural building is never bad. Sure. Walls or market? Or farm? Farm. Then that gives us the 6 agricultural buildings, so if we get another roll, we can start doing some upgrades. It'd be nice. Okay, so everything except for the temple will be done next turn. And even the temple... Yeah, don't invest another 20... another 240 infrastructure, because under 60 I'll be investing in things we don't need it on right now. Don't need the fortress here, though at least that's a 0 slot. We'll take it because it's a 0 slot. At least it won't get in the way with the ongoing constructions. How much short are we? 27? Can we make 27? Yes. Finishes you in 1 turn then. Okay. 1 1 and 1. We're making archers here, and we're almost, well, we're making troops. We are actually making archers, to be fair. Out here, probably, but unlikely to be making real troops out here at this point. Hunter's Lodge wouldn't be too bad. But we'll go Street Polar for that Papyrus bonus. And we would want a better orchard than that. Only got figs. We had like nuts and seeds, and or the dates, so we'd be going with it. Take the wall upgrade for basically a reroll. Ooh. Noble Gardens or the line expansion. I think go to the line expansion, but yeah, if the Noble Gardens come again, I'll probably go to the Noble Gardens. Second time around it's offered. How short are we? I'll accept that it's a 2-turn. 1 again. Lots of building. Academy. Wall upgrade. Oh, and this is an irrigation system that's actually positive. So this is definitely one. Well, it's positive because we got people on food right now. But yeah, I think we'll still do it. Technically, after we do that, it won't be positive. Yeah, -3. That's just showing you what the percentile change is worth. If you're trying to grow. Okay, so at least we'll get the irrigation system done. And the irrigation system also is taking up a slot, so it's going to be something to build there afterwards. 1, 1, and a 2. That's a decent market. Trade port. An extra trade range. It's always nice when that comes up. Put the watchtower in. It's likely not to have an effect here, but in the eventuality that it does. Okay, and that trade port just warrants construction, so we're going to move everyone that we can over from food to construction to get it done as quick as possible. Nearby structure would benefit from the dyes. We're going to do this because it's going to make it so that we can come by at some point and do a regional and then paved. It's actually not necessarily bad granary. It'd be better with grain. Don't remember if we can move grain around, to be fair. Could also upgrade the wall. We'll do the wall upgrade. Port upgrade or Tribune. Port upgrade. Take the wheelmaker, so at some point we can buy it and do a regional. And the port upgrade. So 4 things building, so we're just going to leave everyone on construction. Looks like they're all complete, but we'll overkill a little bit, they'll be fine. Okay, those are all going to complete. 2 slots there. The extreme weather here is affecting mainly health. Not fit for men and a large health penalty otherwise. So there's actually a -20 health and only a flat -2 food. Okay. Though we're looking for the clothing, so I think that's a tier 2 commerce building. And I think it requires the crafting district as well. Yeah. I think Whistle Build Assault works, though. Ooh, lots to build here. We got, in the peace treaty, we got handle this territory, so this territory otherwise is not particularly great. It is small enough that a watchtower for defensive purposes would not be amiss. Same vaguely there, that one's small enough that a watchtower or whatever would not be amiss. Right now we've got, from under pacification, just conquered. We got enough commerce down that we're not getting paid anything. But that's a pretty decent trading tent, so we'll take it. Here we're looking for stables. That's an archery range, that's not stables. We'll take a monument instead then. Yeah, lots of things to build, so everyone's on building. 2 open slots. Take the barracks. the land expansion. Both of those are apparently decently expensive. Everything on production was enough to get the barracks done, though. One open slot. Decent basilica. Yeah, it's probably decent basilica is what we'd aim for. Or the infrastructure building. This would allow us to get the land expansion upgrade later on. Yeah, let's do the build a hole then. And that's enough infrastructure to build it, so we can just move on to the next one. Nothing to build there. I'm actually kind of surprised we don't have any growth yet here. Next turn. Next turn we'll have all the building slots and I'll be having to take people off for food. Major temple. Not in range for the ceramics. So we're going to pass on that. Decent bank. It'll probably get better as we build up more commerce as well. That's the only thing we're building, so we probably don't need that much infrastructure. Nope. We basically need exactly that amount of infrastructure. Okay. Banks are expensive. Military Academy. Do you like that leader force pool? Do you like that leader quality? Okay, so we've put everything on it. It doesn't complete in 2 turns. So in which case, then we probably can just actually accept that we can slow it down a bit by trying to grow. Yeah, let's not slow it down too much because we are going to have some competition. We get another slot in the next turn. It looks like we are slighted to get another slot in the next turn. We'll grab the trading tents here. We can probably get a better commerce building, but 20 commerce is just acceptable. And then that means we could pave the regional road. And we barely need any infrastructure, so we can now swap everything over in that province to food. We barely need any, but apparently we need more than nothing, yes. There we go. 2 open slots. So we may want that irrigation system to be upgraded. Though it's a little early for the fabricator. Okay, how much? Well, we don't need that much food there, obviously. And we need a lot more construction. So transitioning off of food to construction. Again, as the underpacification, just conquered balances go away, this will get a lot more productive. Right this moment, it's very unproductive. Okay, we're now onto the loose. Move the wall. Through the wall. Training ground. We build a wall. 18 culture is pretty nice. We don't need any money, so we can wait on construction, get building a little faster, and we actually don't need the food anymore out here either. It's still 8 turns, so it's gonna take forever to build. That's our loose for the moment. Okay. What about the regionals? All the ones that were worth placing, we've done. Okay. Okay, looking at the time, I think we're going to put the part break in. Good to see we're still in the progressing tier. In fact, actually moving up the progressing tier with our culture going up. Good to see that we're still making a decent amount of legacy. We are now 2 times Macedonia. I think this upcoming part, so the next part I'm going to record, is probably mostly going to be our troops getting shipped out to the Macedonian front for the war. So it's basically going to be the economy stuff and the troops moving about. So with that, if you're watching on YouTube, there should be another part up tomorrow. So we're going to record one more part in this recording session. If you're watching on Twitch, hope you've been enjoying. Once again, I'm going to take a short break to stretch the legs just a little bit, and then we're going to get right back to playing. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.